Every Monday, your Whoop, your Aura Ring, Apple Watch, Garmin, whatever fitness tracker you use tells you that your recovery score and your sleep score was low last night, right? And every Monday, you look at that score and you say whatever, and you go to the gym anyways and you push yourself really hard and have a great workout, right? And you've called this discipline for years now, but it's not discipline. It's the one thing that is holding you back from reaching your highest potential with your health and producing the high performance you want to see within yourself. I coach CEOs, executives, and high performing men who have built elite businesses and companies, and they expect their bodies to resume to the same effort that built their business. But almost every one of them shows up with the same lingering pattern: a recovery score they don't trust, a training habit they won't ever question, and a plateau that they're constantly blaming on age. I'm gonna show you exactly why that recovery score is showing up every morning, why ignoring it now is gonna affect you later, and what the data actually does when you stop overriding it. Because the truth is, this has been a problem for mine even for years now, right? Overworking myself with the work I do with my business, right? Overworking myself doing too much in the gym. And my body has been constantly trying to tell me, right? And I've just never listened, but it's trying to constantly tell me that it needs just a little bit of time to cool off, to fully recover so that I can continue to perform at my 100% best. But again, in the past, I never used to listen to it. I would always push through it and think, I don't want to take the easy route. I need to push myself 100% every day. And I'm sure you can relate to that, right? That mindset of I'm just going to push through the hard times and I'm going to outwork this plateau. So let's get straight into this episode and talk all about recovery. So let's get into the exact situation that you have been in and the loop that you have been stuck in for years now, right? And it's called the Monday loop. Okay, and that's because what happens before Mondays is the weekend. And the weekend is what throws everyone off from their routine, affecting that whole week after that. And again, it's just a loop that continues to happen over and over again, right? So the weekend hits. Kids tournaments, traveling maybe, right? Dinners out with family or with clients. A couple drinks on Friday or Saturday night. You push off sleep an hour or two. The Sunday work prep for the next week, all that anxiety kicks in, and then Monday morning hits. Your recovery is red. You slept horrible last night, right? Your HRV is low. Your resting heart rate shot up from the day before. The typical Monday morning that you're used to by now, right? And instead of listening to your body and what it's trying to tell you to slow things down a little bit, you don't listen. You decide, oh, it's just a number, right? It's lying to me. It's just a number. And again, you get into the gym anyways. You work hard because Monday sets the tone, right? That's the pattern. You know the pattern. You've been stuck in the pattern for, years now. You've seen it happen 50 times already this year alone. I don't have to tell you what the pattern looks like. You've lived it way too many times. And like I said, I myself have even been stuck in that loop way too many times myself. And it wasn't until I decided to listen to my body that everything started to change. When you look at your sleep score and what it's trying to tell you, it's not saying how you should feel, right? Like, oh, your recovery score is low today, you should be feeling like shit. Like, of course, that's probably what's going to happen, but not every single time your recovery score is low. Maybe you wake up and you're feeling okay. It's not telling you how you should feel. Your low recovery score means that your nervous system is in an unrecovered state, right? So again, that resting heart rate is a little bit higher than usual. That HRV is a little bit lower than usual. That means your nervous system is still under some stress. So you may not be feeling that right when you get up in the morning, but that's going to affect how you make decisions, how you can perform, the output that you can actually push throughout the whole day. So again, the elevated resting heart rate and the suppressed HRV means that your sympathetic nervous system is still kicked on, which you don't want it to be. Of course, when you're working out, you want it to be on, you want that cortisol up, you want to be alert and focused and ready to push. But every other moment throughout the day, you want to be in a parasympathetic state. And again, your body's going to tell you if you are or not in that good rest and digest mode. So last weekend didn't relax you at all like you'd hoped it would, right? It just loaded your nervous system even more. Again, maybe the traveling, the kids' tournaments, taking care of the kids just in general, right? The alcohol potentially, the late night meals, not the best sleep, the Sunday night work stress. It keeps your nervous system and your stress levels elevated throughout the whole weekend when you hoped you could actually step away from work and drop your stress, but that's not the way it happens. It stays elevated, and then Monday morning hits and it's already been elevated, so it just continues on that rhythm and that same pattern. And again, this is the loop. So the red recovery score is not random, right? And it's not weakness or not enough effort either. It's just telling you that your body is still under some stress. It's you're in an unrecovered state, and not enough of us are listening to what our body is trying to tell us. When I ask someone if they're into fitness, right? Because a lot of people in business, right, are relatively in good shape, and so I ask them, how serious they take it, and they're like, yeah, no, serious. I take it very seriously. Your health is so important for your success in entrepreneurship, and they know that. And then they don't even have a Whoop or an Apple Watch or a Garmin, an Oura Ring, any fitness tracker. They don't have that, which it blows my mind, because how do you know that you're progressing if you're not tracking anything? If you're not analyzing your own data, right? This Whoop tells me everything that I need to know. Again, the resting heart rate, the HRV, my stress monitor. It obviously tells me my current and live heart rate. It tells me my VO2 max. It tells me how well I slept last night. It tells me so many things about my body, to where I can track that. I can optimize what's going on with my body and with my health for better success, for higher performance, for my business, right? And so again, if you don't have anything tracking right now, that's the first step. Pause this video and buy a Whoop or something right now. An Apple Watch is okay, but anything other than that, buy something to help you track what's going on, and so that you can understand what your body is trying to tell you, right? But if you have already bought and invested in your health with some type of health and fitness tracker, the device is right? That's its main job. You spent this money on it to tell you what your body is trying to tell you. It's just the communicator, right? And not a lot of people trust it. They don't listen to it, because it's easier to ignore the truth. It's easier to say, oh no, my resting heart rate, I feel good today. My recovery score, I slept great last night, I feel great, right? It's easier to ignore the truth rather than to face it and attack it. And something that I want you to get into your mind right now, listen up right here, all right? The mindset of, all discipline. I'm just gonna push through the hard times, and nothing's going to stop me 100% every day. That mindset is dead for you now. All right. It may have worked when you were younger, when you were 20 years old, but that's when you had less responsibilities. That wasn't you now, with all of these other responsibilities, all these things in your life that can easily put stress on your body, right? So again, it may have worked for you in the past to push through the hard times, but you're not that guy anymore. You're carrying 10 plus hours of cognitive load from work, right? You have that chronic low grade stress, to where it's not enough so that you can feel it, so that you can start to do something about it, but it's also just enough stress to where it's going to keep you from progressing in the right direction. And then, of course, like I already mentioned, you have more responsibilities now than ever before. The fitness advice you've been listening to and you've been following for years now, it wasn't made for you. You need to understand that too. It wasn't made for you. It was made for someone completely different, with less responsibility, with less of a stressed lifestyle. And so unless you want to stay in this loop of overworking yourself and genuinely jeopardizing your own prosperity in the future because of that overwork, and because you're not listening to your body, you must change your approach right now with your recovery systems. And trust me, I know how hard it is to make that decision, to have to pull back the intensity, because it feels like you're taking the easy route now, right? Not pushing at your 100% every single day, back to back, no matter what. But that's what has to happen. Otherwise, you're going to overwork yourself. You may not feel it now, or even 3 years down the line, but later on down the line, if you keep on doing this, eventually your body will break. And so it feels like you're taking the easy route, because for years now, you've just been taking the hard route. While everyone else went this way, you went the opposite direction. You took the hard route on purpose to get to where you are now. So that mindset got you to where you are now, right? But again, it only lasts like that for so long until it all starts crumbling. So at some point, you're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm doing too much. It's a crazy thing, right? You thought you weren't doing enough, but now I'm telling you that you're doing too much, and that's the truth. I know how bad you want it. So you're trying to work at your 100% every day, and that only works, like I said, until it doesn't. And you don't want your body falling apart now. And so now, how to flip the score, right? From red every single morning to more often than not, those green and high readiness scores, right? The answer to this is to not stop training, right? You don't want to stop training overall. The answer is to match your inputs to the state. And so what I mean by that is on those red recovery days, you didn't sleep the best last night, your nervous system is in a stress state. Again, you don't want to stop training overall. You just want to match that state of readiness. And so you're still going to train. You can still do 30 to 60 minutes of a zone 2 cardio session. You still cause fat oxidation, burn calories without turning on your sympathetic nervous system. Maybe you do some mobility work. Maybe you still go to the gym on this red recovery day, but you have to pull back the volume. So you can still go in there, push really hard. I know you don't want to half-ass it when you go to the gym, but you just have to pull back the volume. So if you usually do 6 to 8 sets per muscle group in the gym, bring down the volume, bring down the number of sets you're doing by 3 or 4 sets, bring down the volume, keep your intensity high, and this way you can still train hard without overdoing it and over pushing your body. And then on the green days where your body is saying, yes, let's work today, right? This is when you get in there and you work like a madman. You go to the gym and you push as hard as you possibly can. You do a zone 5 sprinting session, right? You work like a madman, like you said, because your body is ready for it. I've seen it many times with the executives that I coach, right? They come to me and they ask me, what am I doing wrong? I'm working out really hard in the gym. I have the discipline and consistency there. My meals are great. This is the healthiest I've ever eaten in my life. What is missing? What am I doing wrong? And it's never that they don't have the discipline, that they're not doing enough. The 9 times out of 10, the answer is that they have an unrecovered nervous system and they don't have proper recovery systems set in place. And so then what happens when we fix the recovery systems, we make slight adjustments to their workout program and their meal plan day to day, their HRV goes up, right? The resting heart rate comes back down. Their deep sleep improves. Their energy is predictable now. Their focus is clear and consistent. This is what happens. It's not that you're not doing enough, it's that maybe you're doing too much and you don't have good recovery systems in place. At the end of the day, it's all about congruency, all right? Your training and all of your daily inputs matching the demands of your mission, but most importantly, matching your state of readiness, the level that your body is ready to work at. And so like I've been saying this whole time, you don't need more discipline, you don't need more consistency or more effort. You simply need to point that discipline that you already have at the right input, because that red recovery score was never the enemy. It was overriding it. That was always the enemy, pushing past the poor recovery, thinking that you can outwork poor recovery, which is just not how it works. That was always the enemy that was holding you back. And so if anything that I said today resonated with you in any way, right, and you feel that your recovery systems are just not set in place the way they need to, you feel like you have an unrecovered nervous system, make sure to simply follow and subscribe on my YouTube channel for more value. I'm constantly posting videos just like this to help you all out there. And if you want something more serious and you're looking for someone to help you and show you exactly how to implement these systems into your routine for the best results for your health, make sure you head over to my Instagram and message me the word performance. That tells me that you watched this specific video and that you're looking for some help in that area. So again, if you're looking for that, make sure to head over to my Instagram, drop me a follow, message me, and yeah, like I said, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.